Week 17, we're talking about wide receivers here as we're going into week 17, which should be your Super Bowl week. You need to be able to sift through some of these wide receivers. Some surprises we have here in the top 10. Let's go ahead and throw up the rankings right over there. Let's just go ahead and right into the video. Let's start at number 10. We got Davante Adams taking on Indianapolis Colts defense that ranks 10th against opposing wide receivers. I do like Davante Adams in this situation. I know we have the quarterback dilemma. You know, is the quarterback going to be good enough to get Davante Adams the ball? He has some good weeks. He has some good weeks. But against this Indianapolis Colts defense, I think he's going to be able to have plenty of opportunities to score some points. I think they're going to throw the ball all over the field. Adams really isn't the happiest camper, especially after his performances here as of late. But I think this week is one of those get-right games for him against this Colts defense. I don't see anybody on the outside able to really cover Davante Adams. As long as they can just, you know, O'Connell can just throw the ball up there and hopefully get it towards Adams, I think he's going to have a solid game for you to be able to hoist that trophy up easily. Number 10 for me. Coming at number 9, I'm going to talk about Mike Evans going against that New Orleans Saints defense that ranks 8th against the opposing wide receivers. Yes, they rank 8th, but that's a big reason because of Marshawn Lattimore. Marshawn Lattimore loves going one-on-one with Evans and loves limiting Evans all the time on his week. But guess what? There will be no Marshawn Lattimore this week, and they don't have anybody that's going to match up against Mike Evans, who Baker Mayfield just throws the ball all over the field. I think Evans has a massive game against my New Orleans Saints. I think Mike Evans is a phenomenal play this week, easily number 9, and it wouldn't surprise me if he ended up being a top 5 wide receiver this week. That's how much I like Mike Evans this week. Coming at number 8, let's talk about Stephon Diggs taking on that Patriots defense that ranks 18th against opposing wide receivers. Stephon Diggs, another guy. I think they're going to absolutely smash the Patriots. I don't think they're going to need Diggs, to be honest with you, this week. I think they're going to smash so early and often that Diggs probably will be irrelevant by the fourth quarter, but I think the first 3 quarters are good enough to land him at number 8 for me. I think he's going to have a nice big game. They had Gabe Davis, who had the big game last week. I think this week it switches back to Diggs. You never see multiple games in a week where you see Gabe Davis go ham sauce. So I think Stephon Diggs right now, I think he is the play. He will be the man. He's going to have a phenomenal game this week against the Patriots. Coming here, number 7, talk about Rashee Rice taking on that Bengals defense that ranks 28th against opposing wide receivers. We're starting to see Rashee Rice be the man here for Patrick Mahomes. It's almost like he's taking the reins from Kelsey a little bit, as we saw Travis Kelsey not really be the dominant force that we're used to seeing. Rashee Rice can consistently put up those 20 fantasy points per game. I like the game of Rashee Rice. I like him coming out of college. We talked about that in the offseason, and now he's starting to show his form, taking on this Bengals defense that I think they're putrid on the back in the secondary. They're not going to be able to guard Rashee Rice. I think he has a phenomenal day, and many targets we're going to see as Patrick Mahomes just forces the ball down the field. Rashee Rice, easily number 7 for me this week. Talking about number 6, we're talking about Puka Nacua taking on that Giants defense, ranks 26 against opposing wide receivers. This could easily be Cooper Kupp, but I had to put Puka Nacua here above Cooper Kupp just because Puka has been doing it at a consistent level, and Cooper Kupp has those boom games every once in a while. Now, don't get me wrong. Matthew Stafford could just choose to say, you know what, this is going to be Cooper Kupp's game, and just throw it to Cooper Kupp all game long. But there's so many plays when I watch this team move the ball up and down the field. Puka Nacua is going in motion. They're moving him all over the field. They're just getting him in a lot of opportunities to be able to score plenty of points. That's why I like Puka Nacua. I think his opportunity to score a lot of points is higher than Cooper Kupp right now. So Puka Nacua at number 6 for me against this Giants defense. I think they're going to be able to shred that. And then the Rams are wanting to go into the playoffs. They've got to beat the Giants team that's already been eliminated from the playoffs. I think Puka Nacua has a big game this week. Let's talk about number 5 here. Talking about A.J. Brown taking on that Cardinals defense, ranks 15th against opposing wide receivers. And I said it before, I think the Eagles have a phenomenal game this week. And it's fact that having such a good game, Devonta Smith almost made my top 10 in this list. So, but he was just cracked. I think I have him at number 11 in my rankings right now. But A.J. Brown against this Cardinals defense, there's nobody on the Cardinals that's going to be able to stop this whole offense. Whether it's going to be Swift or Hurts or Brown or Smith or even Dallas Goedert, who knows? Arizona, they're there for the taking. They're going to smash this team. I think A.J. Brown has a great game this week. Coming at number 4, talking about Justin Jefferson taking on that Packers defense, ranked 19th against opposing wide receivers. And while Justin Jefferson doesn't have the quarterback that we're like to see from a stud wide receiver, he's still getting those opportunities. And Jefferson, he is just that guy. You know, he can make things happen. We saw it last week as he had another phenomenal game. I love Justin Jefferson this week. I think he's going to have a great game for you for your championship, and it's going to pretty much say thank you for drafting him so high this week. I think the Packers are going to give him plenty of points to put on your team. That way you can hoist that trophy. Coming at number 3, talking about Tyreek Hill going against that Baltimore Ravens defense that ranks 9th against opposing wide receivers. And we saw what they did against Deebo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk last week. but it's Tyreek Hill. I mean, who's going to be able to keep up with this guy? The cheetah himself. He's going to be running wild all over the place, and all Tua needs to do is just throw the ball up, let Tyreek Hill go underneath it. I think he'll have at least one boom play against this Baltimore Ravens defense. Yes, it's a stud defense, but you can't bet or rule out Tyreek Hill. Got to put him on the team. And again, the Dolphins are going to want to show that they belong in this top echelon of teams like the Baltimore Ravens, so they're going to give them everything they got. I think Tyreek Hill has a big week this week. Coming at number 2, talking about Amon-Ra St. Brown taking on that Dallas Cowboys defense who ranks 7th against opposing wide receivers. Amon-Ra St. Brown, again, pretty much the only target that is on the lines outside of maybe Sam Laporta. Amon-Ra St. Brown's getting hyper-targeted by Jared Goff. He loves throwing this guy the football. His route running is absolutely crisp. And against this Dallas Cowboys team, they're going to need to be on their P's and Q's. And who better else to throw the ball to than Amon-Ra St. Brown? I think he's going to have a big D. Pause. But I think he's going to have a big week this week, and I think that you can't really go wrong. Easily climb into my number 2. So, talking about number 1 here, we're talking about CeeDee Lamb going against that Lions defense that ranks 27th against opposing wide receiver. I think it's going to be CeeDee Lamb, Amon-Ra St. Brown battling out back and forth. CeeDee Lamb again, and he's a kind of a target hog at this point for Dak Prescott. CeeDee Lamb easily climbs to number 1 for me. I think he's going to have plenty of opportunities to score quite a few points. He's going to show out. They're going to try to build on all cylinders going into the playoffs. So I think if you do have CeeDee Lamb on your team, you could definitely have him hoist up that trophy for you, because you're probably going to win if you have CeeDee Lamb. I have that much confidence in this guy. That is definitely my wide receivers for week 17. As always, thank you for watching the video. Hit the subscribe button, guys. We're really close to 700 subscribers. Leave a comment down below and make sure you guys are hitting the like button. Really helps out the algorithm. I appreciate everything that you guys are doing as we go into the off season now. After this championship week, this will be the last week that you guys get rankings from me, but we're going into the off season. We're going to start talking about rookies really soon. We're going to talk about the NFL playoffs really soon. We're going to dive a lot of things into a lot of things here on this channel. So make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of that. Guys, leave comments down below. I like to go back and forth with you guys, especially about these rankings. For some reason, you guys have some disagreements with that, but I love, like I said, going back and forth in the comments. As long as we all keep respect, we can all have fun, as we all love this game of fantasy football. Can't wait to see you guys on the next video. We'll see you guys next time.